All right, in this video, I'm going to introduce two new tools that you can use as you're sketching. So I'm going to start a brand new drawing. To do that, I'm going to go up into above my ribbon to the little new drawing and click the little paper icon and start a new part. Okay. With this clip part that we're going to be drawing, I'm going to start on the top plane. Left click top. I'll do it a little bit differently. I'm going to go to the sketch tab and click on sketch. That also brings me to my sketch part. Then, starting with the origin, if we take a quick look at what it is that we're drawing, all right, this is the little C clip. And in the old AutoCAD days, we would have to create a box and a circle and another box and another circle and make tangent lines. Okay, SolidWorks has something called the slot tool. And the slot tool is the bottom left of this little toolbar. All right, and there's a little drop-down menu because it can create 4 different types of slots. All right, so for this particular one, we want a straight slot. You'll also notice that as soon as I select my slot tool, I can change it on the fly if I need to. These little graphics also show what the order of creating that slot is. So you see a little number 1, little number 2, little number 3, little number 4, depending on the type of slot that you're making. Now, I want to be in line with my origin. I'm going to left click, drag across, left click, drag out, left click. That sets my slot. Now, I just noticed that I'm in custom instead of IPS. So unfortunately, I have to change that setting. So I'm going to go to custom IPS. By doing that, it kicks me out of Sketch. Okay, it kicked me out of Sketch, so I have to get back into Sketch so I can continue sketching and smart dimensioning. Left click on sketch number 1, edit sketch. That gets me back into my sketch mode. Okay. Now, by hovering over, this looks like I have my midpoint of the slot aligned with the origin. Okay. Go to my centerline tool, go to the origin, and just drag straight up. Okay. By doing this, I can now dimension halfway points. So to make sure that this is correct, I'm going to go to my center line and Smart Dimension. My dimension is 2.50. And I'm going to dimension from the center line to the end point of the line. Okay. And it looks like I'm a little bit off because I'm at like 6 or 7 place precision. All right. So I can do 2.50 divided by 2, hit enter. And it'll automatically place the answer of the formula in my space. Okay. Next is going to be radius. We have a radius of 1. Okay, and that part looks set. I have a new sketch, or a new slot rather, which is going to be the inside. I'm going to follow the same points. Point 1, point 2, small sketch inside, smart dimension, the radius as 0.50. Okay, so now I have this outside pretty much set. I'm going to create a box. I'm going to use the corner rectangle option. Corner rectangle option I'm going to draw a box from the corner across because this portion has to be cut out. Okay? So I'm going to use my smart dimensions now. I know that this opening is 1 1/4. So 1.25, enter. And I'm going to use the center line that I've drawn to center this box. So I'm going to say the left wall to the center line should be half of that, 1.25 divided by 2. And it recenters my box. Okay. I'm going to left click out an empty space once and hit escape once to get out of my smart dimension tool. Next is my favorite tool of all time. But before I tell you what my favorite tool of all time is, we have to destroy the slot. All right. The slot is seen as a single entity. And when we break through it, it's going to basically give us a warning saying, hey, are you sure you want to destroy the slot? Okay. My favorite tool in the world in SOLIDWORKS is Trim Entities, right? The little scissors here. Click on Trim Entities. Make sure that Power Trim is selected. Basically, all you have to do is hold down the left mouse button, okay? And this line that I'm drawing is a trim line. So I'm just going to swipe up. Trim operation will destroy the slot entity. Do you want to continue? Yes. Yes, because it's talking about the second slot and the third time. Don't show again. Oh, looks like we have a bug. Escape. There we go. That took a while. So again, left click in the power trim tool, swipe, 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 swipe. Very easy to use. Okay. Now that I have this, I'm going to green check my trim tool. Right? My trim tool is on. I'm going to green check it. I'm going to exit my sketch. I can exit sketch here or here. Left click. Oh, this is no good. Okay, this is a hanging line. I have to go back in and make sure that I edit the sketch and trim that out. Otherwise, SOLIDWORKS will have a very difficult time creating my geometry. I see it changed colors, so I'm good. Confirm the trim, exit the sketch. Select my sketch. I want to make sure that it's selected. Go to Features, Extrude Boss Base. And this is going up a 1/2 inch. Confirm it. Okay. And we're almost done. Next part of this is to create this upper loop here. And I'll do that in 2 parts. I have to create a box at the center point that or stops at the center point, and then I have to create a cylinder. Okay? So going back into SOLIDWORKS, I'm going to start on the back end. Left click on this back face. That's the face that I want to work with. Left click, start a new sketch. I see my origin. I'm going to normal to. I use the corner rectangle tool to start flush with the bottom line. Left click, up, left click. Okay, then I'm going to use my Smart Dimension tool to size this as, we have a radius of 0.625. So I'm going to say 0.625 times 2 will give me the diameter or the overall length. Then from the edge to the origin point, 0.625. That centers my object. Exit my, and then I need height. Height is going to be 1 inch. Exit my sketch. My sketch is selected. Extrude boss base. You can see it's going the wrong way. I can click on the direction arrow in my properties to make it go the right way. Okay. I know that it's stopping at a 1/2 inch, but just as another option, I can change my direction from blind to up to surface. And then it's going to ask me, well, what surface do I want this to go up to? So I click on that inside surface and confirm. Okay. So I've got that part. Next, I do the same thing. Left click on my surface, new sketch. Circle tool. I have to tag the top edge. I see my midpoint. I tag it, left click. Go to the end point, left click. Exit sketch. Extrude boss base. Going the wrong way again. Change direction. 0.50, that's okay. Okay. Last thing is to create the hole. Right? Doesn't matter from what direction I start. That's a face that I want to start from. I create a new sketch. Circle tool. To get the center point, easily all you have to do is hover over the arced edge. Hovering over that arc will give you a center point. I go and hit my target. Left click. Drag out my circle. Smart dimension. Diameter of 1/2 inch. Exit my sketch. My sketch is selected. This is a cut, not an extrude. So I want to make sure that I'm in the cut section, not the boss base section. Cut extrude. Make sure to go through all. Green check to confirm. And I'm all set. A good way to check whether or not this is drawn properly, hit the space bar. Then hit one of these isometric corners. If it looks like your original drawing, then you've drawn it correctly. Okay, so one more time. Space bar. This is a southeastern isometric. Southwestern isometric. When you're ready to save the part, go up to the save icon. And again, I'm going to say this is part 300-002. Or actually should be 003, right? Because it's the third drawing. And my description, I'm going to call it C-clip. Save it. And I'm all set.